one thought that cost him a kingdom. Jake was known throughout the valley as an honest man. From the time he was a boy, people trusted him. Merchants trusted him with their money. Neighbors trusted him with their homes. Travelers trusted him with their stories. Jake never lied. He never cheated. He never took what wasn't his. Honesty wasn't something he practiced. It was simply who he was. But honesty is not tested when life is easy. True character is tested when temptation is high. One autumn morning, a royal messenger arrived in the valley with news that changed everything. The king was old. He had no heir, and he had decided that his successor would not be chosen by blood, but by character. Each chosen citizen would receive a bag. They would travel to the royal fields beyond the mountains. Their task was simple: fill the bag with stones and return in 3 days. No explanation, no clues, only one promise. Your future will be shaped not by what you carry, but by how you choose. Jake was chosen. Jake began the journey with a steady heart. He believed this was a chance to serve, not to rule. When he reached the royal field, he knelt down and picked up the first stone. It was ordinary, heavy. He placed it in his bag. At first, his thoughts were clear. I will do exactly as I was told. But as the hours passed, Jake noticed something strange. Some stones shimmered in the sunlight. They looked valuable, polished, special. That night, as he rested by the fire, he heard other travelers whisper, "These stones could make us rich." One said, "Imagine a luxurious life," said another. Jake turned away, but the thought stayed. The next day, Jake returned to the field. He filled his bag with strong, heavy stones, proof of his effort. Then his eyes landed on a pile of smooth, shining stones. A thought crossed his mind. One decision you make could open the door to success or close it forever. Jake hesitated. He had lived honestly for years, but honesty had always been easy. No one had ever placed a crown at the end of his choices before. He picked up one smooth stone. "It's just one," he told himself. "It doesn't change who I am." He placed it in the bag. Thought became words. Words became justification. Justification became action. By the end of the day, Jake's bag was full, but not with the stones he originally intended to carry. On the walk back, something felt heavy. Not the bag, his mind. Jake reached the palace at sunrise. One by one, the candidates emptied their bags before the king. When Jake's turn came, his hands trembled. The stones spilled onto the marble floor, smooth, polished, shining. The king examined them carefully. Then he sighed. "These stones," the king said, "are worthless. They are empty inside, beautiful on the surface, but useless for building." The king pointed to another pile, rough, heavy stones brought by a quiet farmer. "These," he said, "are foundation stones." The king turned back to Jake. "For years, you lived an honest life," he said, "but you failed to guard your thoughts when it mattered most." Jake fell to his knees. "I thought," he began. "Yes," the king said gently, "you thought." And then the king spoke words Jake would never forget. Thought becomes words. Words become actions. Actions become habits. And habits shape our future. Jake returned to his valley with empty hands and a full heart of regret. Years passed. He lived simply, worked honestly, helped others. And when children asked him what he had learned, Jake would say, "Our thoughts are like seeds. One day, they grow into our future." He taught them this truth. If we don't control our thoughts, even an honest person can make the wrong choice. Greed promises luxury. but delivers empty bags and integrity. Integrity is not a sprint, it is a marathon. Jake never became a king, but he became something greater. A reminder that even our worst enemy can't harm us like our own negative thoughts can. And that if you master your mind, you can master your future. Choose wisely. Your future is listening. 1. The moral of the story. A lifetime of integrity can be destroyed by a single moment of weakness. The story illustrates that being honest when things are easy is not enough. True character is tested when temptation is high. Jake lived an honest life for years, but one moment of greed caused him to lose the greatest opportunity of his life, becoming a king, proving that even our worst enemy can't harm us like our own negative thoughts can. 2. Social media quotes the warning. One decision you make could open the door to success or close it forever. On mindset, even our worst enemy can't harm us like our own negative thoughts can. The cycle of success. Thought becomes words. Words become actions. Actions become habits. And habits shape our future. The metaphor. Our thoughts are like seeds. One day they grow into our future. 3. The lesson: you must master your thoughts to master your future. Guard your mind. The story teaches that if we don't control our thoughts, even an honest person can make the wrong choice. Jake was not a bad man, but he allowed a greedy thought to grow until it became an action he couldn't stop. The cost of greed. Jake thought he was stealing wealth to live a luxurious life, but he was actually stealing stones and losing a kingdom. The lesson is that taking shortcuts often leads to empty bags and deep regret. Endurance matters. Honesty is not a sprint, it is a marathon. You must hold on to your values until the very end of the journey to receive the reward.
Do not forget to subscribe to Mr. G Leopard's channel.